Good day to all of you out there. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 and 250. And for those of you who have not subscribed to Signal TV or are on the move somewhere remote, you can watch us via Facebook.com/OneNewsPH, or if you've got great signal, you've got great internet connectivity via PLDT fiber, then you can connect to YouTube One News PH. Pinaplug ko po yung PLDT kasi talaga ako bilib ako doon sa kanilang fiber internet. In any case, before we go into all of that, welcome to the program. And I was just going through the news. If you remember, yesterday I mentioned that the good news was, accompanied minors to be allowed in malls. Well, that was yesterday's news because today's news is Metro Mayors, okay? Metro Mayors, DOH, no minors in malls. Okay, medyo bigla yatang nagkahigpitan. We will talk about this later today because if you go into the inside pages of the Philippine Star, there is a story where an undersecretary of the DILG called out all of the local government officials, particularly mayors, na para yatang walang pandemic sa mga lugar nyo, lalo na sa mga commercial complex dahil talagang dagsa ang mga tao. People have just simply flowed to or walked into those places, ignoring social distancing. In any case, today, December 3, 2020, it's a Thursday, and our lineup for the day for interviews, we will speak to Mr. Julius Corpuz, spokesperson, Toll Regulatory Board. Why? Medyo mainit po na topic yan. There are a lot of people, particularly motorists, particularly car owners, vehicle owners who need to traverse either the SLEX or the NLEX up north and other areas. But it has become a very irritating topic. Why? Because in spite of an appeal by no less than Ramon Ang of San Miguel Corporation that operates SLEX and parts in Tiplex yata or something, and then an appeal by Senator Nancy Binay, an appeal by Senator Grace Poe, yung isang mama sa DOTR ay nagmamatigas. Sabi niya, hindi kami atras. Nagbigay na kami. We've given way before. We have extended the deadline. And according to their spokesperson, wala na extension. By January 11, I think, hulihan na ang labanan or no RFID, no travel dun sa mga expressway. Unfortunately, it's easy for government to order corporations, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing anything. Medyo pag-usapan po natin yan kasi, I want to support the DOTR here. It's a good program. I've long espoused that we should promote the RFID. We should insist that people should have RFID. But in the face of all the long lines, all of the concerns, all of the appeals, sometimes it is better to be kind than to be right. Okay? Medyo spiritual yon, pero mas mabuti yung maigi yung may konsiderasyon tayo kaysa sa porke tama tayo magmatigasan na lang. It's not good governance on certain occasions, particularly under the trying times of COVID-19. In any case, after that, we will speak with our good friend Jojo Garcia in the MMDA, find out about the close open ng mga mabalak daw nilang magsara ng isang U-turn slot sa EDSA, pero magbubukas naman sila. Balak naman nilang magbukas ng dalawa. And then yung pinag-usapan ng mga mayors, Yesterday, the news was the minors will finally be allowed if they're accompanied, or at least that was the plan or the idea. But now the DOH and the MMDA said, no way, Jose, stay home, children. In any case, we will find out. And then Father Jerome Secillano will once again join us para patuloy natin pag-usapan yung Simbang Gabi. Kasi magkakaroon ba ng uniform hour? Anong oras ba yung Simbang Gabi? And paano? Because as I will read later, the report of the Philippine Star is, in some places, it's not going to happen inside the church because alam naman po ninyo, there are some churches na medyo maliit talaga, crowded, limited seating capacity, and with all of the health protocols, magiging pointless. So, ang suggestion is open air, basketball courts, etc. Tingnan natin, parang concert, di ba? We will go to all of that. The hour is 8:05. The time is 8:05 in the morning. Let's take a look at the front page of the Philippine Star. Bannering today's front page or stories, President Rodrigo Duterte orders the speedy procurement of the COVID-19 vaccine as he allowed the Food and Drug Administration or FDA to issue emergency use authorization for the said vaccine. Speaking of vaccines, the United Kingdom has approved the one made by Pfizer and its use will start there next week. Ayan na po, no? Magkakasubukan na, gagamitin na, and medyo matagal na. Pfizer is a company of long-standing history, renown, and so obviously they've got, and they did have the head start on all of this. At the top of the page, Metro Manila mayors and the health department agree. No minors in malls just yet, reversing the earlier declaration by the government. Okay, ang tanong, anong gagawin natin sa mga bata na kailangan ding maka-exercise, who need 15 to 25 minutes of sunlight or daylight, sunlight exposure, and who need exercise. Dito lang ba sila sa mga tahanan nila sa barangay, or will they be allowed in pati yata basketball court? Bawal eh. Okay, let's go. Also in the front page, PhilHealth's debt to Red Cross, utang, hindi kamatayan. Ang utang ng PhilHealth sa Red Cross is now at 623 million pesos and crawling. Iyan ang nangyayari. The last time that also happened, it was at 500, and then next thing you know, it was at 700, and then it became 800 and 900, and then nagbayad, back to 500, ngayon crawling again to 623 million pesos. Ano ba ang ginagawa ng mga nandyan sa PhilHealth and sa Red Cross para hindi nagpa-pile up? Okay, at the lower part of the page, Chief Implementer of the COVID-19 national policies, Carlito Galvez, says that he supports face-to-face classes in medical schools. This is because we need more health workers in the fight against the pandemic. Ang problema yata ng mga medical students ay yung yung mga physical na, yung mga laboratory classes or actual exposure. Kasi yung mga theoretical, pwede naman online yon. Paano na yung mga umiikot para mag-observe, sumusunod doon sa mga, alam niyo, yung mga doktor na umiikot, rumoronda, meron sila mga intern na nakabuntot. Sila yung mga glorified alipin na nag-aaral. And paano yun pag wala? Hindi nila nakikita kung paano pinupulsuhan, paano inaaral, etc. So, it's good that these things are being considered. Question is, will it happen? In any case, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion is also urging the Health Department to act on the proposal of saliva testing for COVID-19. Bakit, Mr. Presidential Advisor? Have you also discovered what we have all known for some time na sa DOH, diyan naghahari si Speedy Bagal. Si Speedy Bagal. Kasi ang bilis magsalita, pero ang bagal sa gawa. Diba? Parang yung COVID testing price cap. Ilang buwan inabot? I think 3 or 4 or 5 months pinag-uusapan na yung presyo ng COVID testing. Eh nako, nagka-windang-windang ang balik-balik. Tapos ganun din, 5,000 daw ang price cap. Eh mas mahal pa kaysa doon sa presyo. Eh doon sa airport, yung mga singil daw doon sa OFW po, mga private citizen na pumapasok, 4,000 lang daw o 4,500. In any case, so well, there you go. You have, it's crazy. It's really weird. You know, you need the president to tell the Food and Drug Administration, sige, bigyan na natin ng permission, sige, gawin nyo na yung emergency or compassionate use, etc. Nasaan na yung Secretary of Health? Anong ginagawa niya? Okay. A group of medical professionals is also calling for a 4-point strategy to prevent super spreader events this Yuletide. Yung sabi nilang 4 dapat pero walang bago. Kasi pareho pa rin eh. Yung 4 daw, dapat daw maluwag yung pinaglalagyan ninyo. Dapat may social distancing, etc. You know, nothing new really. I guess what we all need to do is just have a uniform reminder, a uniform program. Kasi ang problema, alam niyo po, may kanya-kanyang gimmick, may kanya-kanyang style, may kanya-kanyang motto, etc. Why can't we just all say, wear your mask, social distance, hand sanitize, okay? Yun lang, and then make sure you fill up the contact tracing form. Ewan ko kung ano pa ba. Face shield. Dati hindi po ako believer dyan sa face shield, pero sabi ng mga scientist na nakakausap ko, Cito, kung 20% lang maitutulong ng face shield, that's still 20%. That's going to help keep you alive and keep COVID away. In any case, a group, okay. And lastly, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, has allowed to hold Simbang Gabi masses outside of churches to accommodate more mass goers. We will clarify that with CBCP Public Affairs official Father Jerome Secillano about the matter later on. In any case, tayo po ay medyo habang inaayos pa natin yung mga magiging interview natin, ay balikan natin itong mga lumalabas kanina sa dyaryo. We have reports. Actually, I saw an interview with Secretary Carlito Galvez kung saan sinasabi ni Carlito Galvez na napakasalimuot. Trying to get things done in government is so complicated. And he was referring to the procurement process of getting the, getting the vaccines. Kasi, contrary to established legal procedure and requirement, the Philippine government has to make advance payment. Advance order, advance payment para sa produkto. At saka dito walang bidding-bidding kasi this is the seller's market. Kumbaga, amin yung produkto, wala kayong makukunan na itong ibang produkto, iilan lang kaming meron, so hindi kayo pwedeng mamili at magdikta. We cannot dictate on vaccine manufacturers. So what's happening? So the bidding process flies out the window. And then the product has to be tested by the FDA. And then the law does not allow government to put advance payment, etc. Di nagkawindang-windang na. But it is really weird. It is weird because one would imagine that we are under a state of emergency, so to speak. It is a health crisis, a global crisis. So, all rules fly out the window. Work from home nga tayong lahat eh. Meron ngang Bayanihan Act 1, 2, and sabi nila 3. All because it is a state of emergency in such terms. Now, given that, one would think that ayos na yan. Kumbaga, hindi na pinag-uusapan yan. May problema tayo dito. Namamatay ang mga Pilipino, nagkakasakit ang Pilipino, at hindi lang Pilipino. It is a global situation. So dapat, all those rules, meron ng governing rule na hindi na yan. Does not apply. Pero sinasabi sa atin ngayon, and I respect Secretary Galvez, saludo po ako dyan sa mamang yan. Sinasabi niya, napakahirap. Pedro, Jose, napakahirap kumuha ng bakuna. Paano na yan? Ano ba namang sistema ito na kailangan magpaalam dito, kailangan pumunta kay Presidente? And that is what I have been harping on for the longest time. Mahirap kasi pag task force lang. Kailangan na talaga meron na tayong governing body, national body na lahat nandun. Kasi itong task force, yes, they can issue orders, pero can they dictate on the law? Can they alter processes? Mukhang hindi, according to Secretary Galvez. And so what will happen is, ito pang isang weird balita, ito yung balita kahapon, we are relying on private sector to advance the payment for the procurement. Kasi hindi nga raw kayang gawin ng government. So parang bibili yung private sector, i-donate sa government. Parang, guys, can we just stop playing games here? I mean this with all respect, no? With all respect. Tigilan natin to. Kasi may naiintindihan naman ng tao eh. I think it's about time the Congress, the executive, and the private sector all sat down and laid down all of the problems. Kasi totoo po, the bureaucracy in the Philippine government, regardless of who the president is just really insane. It's all designed to prevent corruption, but creates corruption. Okay, balikan po natin ang ating main programa. Baka sabihin nyo, Cito, relax lang. Puntahan muna natin yung best friend natin, BFF natin dyan sa MMDA. And let's find out. GM Jojo Garcia, good morning sa iyo. Ginising na naman kita.
Hindi po, kanina pa po. Good morning, Sir Cito. No? Talagang umaga pa lang, matulog na yung telepono natin. Hindi po tumitigil yan. Basta may balita po. Opo.
Yeah. In any case, GM, kamusta ka na? How have you been faring? Hindi ka naman nabubueltahan ulit ng COVID-19?
Ay, hindi po. Medyo talagang super ingat po, no? Talagang automatic na yung mga face mask, face shield, kahit saan ako magpunta. At limited talaga yung aking crowd, no? As much as possible. Like today po, kung wala naman akong importanteng meeting sa office or pipirman, sa bahay lang po talaga ako, puro Zoom, internet po. At kasi, alam niyo naman po, Sir Cito, bago panganak yung aking commander, kaya talagang...
Hindi ko alam. Congratulations. Is it a boy or is it a girl?
Another girl po. 3-month-old na po.
Good for you. Good for you because girls are a blessing to us, papas.
Really? Yes, correct po.
Diba? Talaga yan. Dati, nung lumalaki tayo nun, sinasabi, dapat lalaki para may magdadala ng pangalan. Kung criminal naman, magdadalhin yung pangalan natin, wag na.
Buti na lang, hindi nanonood yung panganay ko lalaki. Talagang okay ang mga babae.
Okay. In any case, GM, going back to topic, medyo nawaw ako kasi mali kami kasi sabi kahapon sa dyaryo, pumayag na yung or ang announcement, papayagan na we are going to allow minors into malls if they are accompanied. And then today, biglang no. Sabi, ano anyari as they say, what happened?
Okay. Unang-una po, Sir Cito, no? Last Sunday kasi, every Sunday, alam niyo naman, masisipag talaga yung ating mga mayors. I just want to commend them. Every Sunday, nagmi-meeting kami. Ano yan, minimum 2 hours, minsan 4 hours kami nagmi-meeting. No? So last Sunday, nagkaroon ulit ng pagpupulong with the IATF secretaries. No? Kasama namin lagi ating mga matsatsaga pong mga secretary para talagang ang guidance harap-harapan na napapakinggan natin. So, nag-bring up po itong minors Parang sa isang city po, naglabas sila ng interpretation nila na ano ba ang essential, no? Essential ba mag-dine-in? Kasi nakabukas na yun So, paano ba yung mga bata, let's say, pupunta sa mall yan kasi may mga clinic dyan. So, may appointment na clinic. Paglabas sa clinic, makikita yung mga fast food chain, kakain yan. No? So, doon nagsimula yan.
Well, tama naman yun, GM. Kasi ako, yung aking dentista, nasa mall.
Yes.
Yung mga kaibigan kong doktor, nasa mall na. Kasi sabi nila, Kuyang, wala, hindi kami makapwesto sa mga hospital. Sobrang mahal at saka advance payment para magka-opisina ka doon.
Tama, no? So, nung Sunday po, kumpleto kami, no? Napapag-usapan pa lang. So, pag napag-usapan yan, kinabukasan, ayan na. Pwede na ang mall. Alam niyo naman talaga, iba yung napag-usapan pa lang. So, natanong ang IATF, no? Ang PNP, si Secretary Anyo, ano ba stand dyan? Of course, kami with high respect for Secretary Anyo, talagang siya po laging sinasabi sa amin na yan kung anong gusto ng mayor, susuportahan ko. Lagi niya sinasabi yan. Kung gusto nila, okay. Kung ayaw nila, hindi pwede. Kasi nga po, ang dahilan dyan is ang enforcement nasa local government units. Wala sa national government. No? In any guidelines, ang LGU nagbabantay niyan So kung gusto ng LGU, ibig sabihin, they can control it. No? They can enforce it. Kung ano yung mga health standards. No? At nakita naman natin ng Metro Manila, ang ganda lang numero. Steady tayo sa 2,400, bababa ng 2,200, akit ng 2,450, etc. No? So maganda yung numero. So ngayon, of course, sa group namin, may Viber group kami, medyo nagkaroon ng mga katanungan. Sandali, yung mga hardliner, no? Sandali, paano ba to? Ganyan, ganyan. So, nag-decide si Chairman, okay, meeting tayo mamaya, gabi, no? Nung Monday night. So, emergency meeting kami, mayors lang. Nakakatuwa lang ko talaga, Sir Cito, pag kami-kami lang, talagang healthy opinion, bakbakan konti. Pero ang bilib ka sa mga mayor, at the end of the day, kung sino majority, lahat sunod. Hindi ka pwedeng iba, no? Kasi nga, let's say, kunyari, ang Taguig, pwede ang children, sa Quezon City, hindi pwede. Pupunta ka lang ng Taguig pero uuwi ka rin ng Quezon City. So, just the same, no? Kasi borderless talaga. So, ang una na pagkasunduan namin ng Monday, okay, dapat isa lang tayo. Hindi pwedeng iba-iba. So, magbotohan ba tayo ngayon? So, ang sabi ng ibang mayor, sandali, magbobotohan tayo, hindi naman tayo mga doktor. No? Baka pwedeng humingi tayo sa expert. Ano ang expert sa minor? Ito yung mga pediatricians, di ba? So, nag-ano kami sa, nung Monday na status ko muna, hanggang wala yung advice ng experts, no? Opinion ng experts. So, buti naman po, nakausap ko si Dr. Jocelyn Eusebio kinabukasan. Siya ang presidente ng Philippine Pediatric Society at others sa kanilang Philippine Pediatric Infectious Disease Society. No? So, wala na sigurong magiging expert sa minor, kundi sila. So, nagkaroon po sila ng konting meeting. Pagdating ng hapon, nakausap ko po siya, nagbato sa akin ng kanilang opinion, not recommendation, opinion. Kasi nga, ayaw nila makialam, no? Sa mga recommendation yan, sa private sila. So, nagbigay sila ng opinion. Based sa opinion po nila, talagang, delikado po lumabas ang minor, no? So, unang tanong ko, ano ba definition ng minor sa pedia? Ang minor pala is 17 below. 17 below, no? Meaning, kahit gano'n ka ka-healthy, kalaki, katangkad, kung 17 ka, nagkasakit ka, hindi ka sa regular doctor, sa pedia ka pa rin pupunta. No? So, nung nilabas ko po yan sa group namin ng mayors na ito po ang opinion ng PPS, Philippine Pediatric Society, ano po ang boto nyo? Will we allow minors to go out or not? Definitely, 17-0 agad ang sagot. No? Kasi ang mga mayor natin, responsable yan sabi nga natin, humingi tayo ng opinion, yun ang opinion, sundin natin. No? So, isa sa mga explanation po dyan is, kasi ang minor po, dahil malakas ang resistensya niyan, kung may virus man yan, puro asymptomatic. Talagang wala kang makikita dyan, na konting symptoms. So, let's say, nag-dine in sa restaurant yan, lalo na yung mga bata, magtatanggal ng mask yan, pag nabusog yan, magtatakbo-takbo yan, pwede sila maging carrier. So, pag carrier sila, pwedeng yung ibang mga vulnerable, mahawa sa kanila. Or, let's say, paikot-ikot yan, mabilis silang mahawa. Pag uwi sa bahay niyan, yung lola, lolo, aakapin yan, magmamahal yan, pwede rin mahawa. So,
well, I support that, GM, kasi yung anak ko, bagamat hindi na minor, when she got COVID-19 in Holland, she was asymptomatic. And ang sabi nga ng mga tita niya at saka ng mama niya na senior citizen, ay sabi, mabuti na lang nung nakuha mo yan, asymptomatic ka, at saka wala na kami dyan nung nakuha mo. Kasi kung siyempre, mag-ina, nagyayakapan pa yan, nagbebeso-beso pa yan, malamang at malamang, hindi na nakauwi yung misis ko dito, na-COVID na yun doon sa Holland. In any case, that's true. That's a very good point.
okay. Next po, so stick pa rin ang NCR, no? Ang alam naman natin nationwide, it's 15 to 65, no? Pero kasi yung nag-15, yan yung mga MGCQ area. Ang NCR po, GCQ, kaya 18 to 65 tayo, no? Ang reason naman ng mga mayors natin dyan, but 18, hindi 17, hindi 16, hindi 15, no? Sabi nga natin, hindi yan basta numerong hinugot mo kung saan-saan at nag-invento ka. Kaya po naging 18 ng Metro Manila, ito po yung mga nagtatrabaho. No? Ito yung nagtatrabaho, 18, trabaho ka na. Yung 15, 16, 17, karamihan dyan, estudyante yan eh. So talagang babarkada yan, leisure yan. No? Pero kung talaga namang magtatrabaho ka, allowed naman. Let's say ikaw ay 66, 67 years old, or 70, nagtatrabaho ka, allowed din yan kasi essential yan. No? So, ngayon, actually, ang pinag-usapan din ng mga mayors, pagdating sa mga commercial establishments, restaurants, mga ganyan, ang daling i-monitor niyan eh. Madali ang enforcement niyan, Sir Cito, no? Why?
Yeah.
Mag-violate yan, pwede mo ipasara anytime, no? Pwede mong i-revoke ang business permit. Nangyari na yan sa mga ibang establishment na nag-break ng health protocol, pinasasara yan. Golf course ka, napapasara natin, di ba?
Totoo naman, GM, kasi sa mga pag-ikot-ikot ko, in fairness to the malls, to the restaurants, kahit dyan sa mga outside Metro Manila, ang sasabihin sa'yo, mahigpit po kami kasi kung hindi, masasara kami.
Yes.
So, that's an established reality and established practice and awareness.
So ngayon, anong problema natin, no? Kasi alam naman natin itong Pasko, magkakaroon ng surge yan, no? By January. Alam natin yan sa mga mass gathering, no?
Yung Simbang Gabi nga, paano na yan?
Yes, I'm going to explain it later, no, Sir Cito, no?
Oh.
So yung surge, sana lang manageable. Hindi malaki pagdating ng first week ng January, no? Kasi may Noche Buena, Buena Noche, alam mo naman yan, traditional na Pilipino, no? So pinababantayan ngayon ng mga mayors natin, yung mga household. Kasi yan, mahirap i-monitor, no? Mga household, no? Kaya nga nakikiusap kami, kung may compound kayo, sa bahay, 10 kayo, 12, kayo na lang. Wala na mag-iimbita ng ibang barangay, ibang syudad, no? Of course, sa MGCQ area, allowed yan. Kasi tansyado nila yung numero, kaya nag-MGCQ. Pero dito po sa Metro Manila, 2,400 na po yung active, medyo kailangan natin mag-ingat talaga, no? Now, yung tanong niyo po tungkol sa Simbang Gabi, in-adjust na po natin ang curfew ng Metro Manila, no? 12 to 3 na lang yan, 3 a.m. Why? Kasi pinapayagan natin mag-start ang Simbang Gabi ng 3 a.m. Kasi nga 30% lang capacity nila, so kailangan mas madaming mag-start ng 3 a.m. para mas madaming ma-serve, no? Alam naman natin, napaka-importante rin ng simbahan, yung spiritual, kumbaga, parang pagkain yan eh. Nabubusog ka pag kumain sa restaurant, yung spiritual pag nakapagsimba ka, nabubusog naman yung faith, di ba? So pinapayagan po natin.
Kahit nga sa Amerika na America is not as religious as the Philippines, but now it has become a talking point if not an issue. Kasi nga yung mga public places daw nila napapayagan na pero yung simbahan hindi pa. So dito ay lalong magiging issue yan.
Opo, no? Kaya nga ang sa amin na lang, actually, Sir Cito, I think that was last night, no? Na-interview rin ako. Kasi sinabi ko nga, no, lagi tayo nag-uusap yung kala nila nakakaisa sila. Let's say, 70 years old ka na. Paday ang pa-doktor mo, mukha kang 50 lang. Di ba? So, papasok ka sa mall. Kala mo, nakakaisa ka lagi, no? So, ngayon, nakaisa ka isang beses, nakaisa ka 2 beses, nahawa ka ng COVID. Baksa ka sa ICU, intubate ka. So, hindi ka nakaisa, ikaw ang naisahan, di ba? Yun nga yung sinasabi natin Bakit naglabas ang IATF ng 15 to 65? May pinaghuhugutan yan May study yan. Kaya nga kami, bilib kami sa IATF na sumusunod kami dyan. Kasi kumpleto sila, pati mga experts, no? Meron sila economic team, may experts. So, yung mga age bracket na ganyan, talagang pinag-aralan yan, bakit nila nilagay? Yung sinasabi nga minsan sa NCR, ba't hindi 17? Bakit 18? Isang taon lang naman ang diferensya niyan. Yun nga yung sa mga doktor di ba? Bakit pag 17, pedia doctor ka, pag 18, hindi?
Okay. Magano naman ako magkokontrabida ako ng konti para dun sa isip ng mga iba. There is a worry na yung 17 mayors nagdidesisyon na influensyahan yung IATF, nagiging national policy na pati yung outside Metro Manila ngayon kailangan sumunod doon sa patakaran sa Metro Manila na hindi naman adaptable or hindi sa tingin nila necessary sa kanilang lugar.
Hindi naman po, Sir Cito, no? Sabi ko, ang age bracket nationwide is 15 to 65, no? Sa Metro Manila lang ang 18 to 65 kasi nga, naka-GCQ pa tayo.
So ang guiding point pa rin natin will be the GCQ, MGCQ, ECQ, etc. Okay.
That's why...
GM, be-break lang tayo sandali. Please stay with us. Mag-ID lang kami and then balikan kita kagad.
Yes po.
Okay, we'll go for a quick break. Agenda will be right back. Okay, you're back here on Agenda, and we are speaking with General Manager Jojo Garcia of the MMDA. So GM, klaro na tayo dun sa age bracket, why we have that. We are clear as to the basis for those age brackets na depende sa classification or quarantine classification ng isang lugar. Ngayon, matanong ko lang, yung bang mga party, kasi pinagtatalunan na ngayon yung party. And you know, ako medyo na-concern ako last weekend. May nadaanan ko ba na parang opisina siya. Aba, may nag-uumpukan, long table, may nagiinuman, gano'n. Nagmamaneho akong kasi nagtaka ako, madilim na lugar, biglang nakabukas yung ilaw. Pagsilip ko sa may pintuan, sabi ko, nagiinuman itong mga tulunggis na ito, COVID-19. Ano bang situation natin, GM?
Yun nga po yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Pagdating sa household, mahirap po talaga i-monitor yan, no? Kaya nga kung talagang may get-together, no? We don't want to call it party. May get-together. Mas maganda nga sa restaurants na lang gawin. At least, mamamonitor natin, no? At may minimum health protocol. Pero kung talagang hindi may iwasan sa household, sana kayo-kayo na lang. No? Sabi nga, wala nga Christmas party. Pero let's say, sa isang restaurant, pasaran nyo, may seating capacity yan, no? May minimum yan, maximum yan, dyan yung gawin, mag-dine-in kayo. Pero sana lang, wala na yung mga event, yung mga games, kakanta, kasi nga, yan yung mga nakaka-transmute. We can celebrate, no, anytime. Siguro lang, medyo hybrid na lang natin. Kasi
Okay.
talagang iniiwasan dito, Sir Cito, yung mass gathering. Nangyari sa Europe yan, no?
Yeah.
Nag-second lockdown sila because of mass gathering. Kaya sila naging pet. Isipin mo, curfew nila 6 p.m. na lang ngayon. Di ba? So,
Tsaka doon sa Europe, dati, kasi tigaron yung asawa ko, hindi mo masabihan yung mamamayan. You can't even tell the citizen to wear mask inside a commercial complex. You cannot talk about shutdown or lockdown, etc. Pero now, after the second wave, wala kaming pakialam sa inyo. We are going to enforce the necessary health protocols. Love it or hate it, you follow it.
that's why, no, yun yung sinasabi ko, sa NCR, talagang laging kinukomend din ng ating mga mayors, no? Kasi nga napanatili natin yung numero, eh. Yung, right now, ang active cases natin, 2,400, no? Pababa na. So, we don't want to waste it, eh, yung 9 months. No?
Exactly.
So, sabi nga natin, isang buwan na lang, ilang days na lang, di ba? Baka by January, kung hindi naman magkaroon ng substantial surge, no? Because of the gatherings, baka ma-promote na tayo ng GCQ, no?
Sige.
At ilang buwan na rin lang, no? Nag-present na sa amin ng tungkol sa vaccine. Nandiyan na, no? Parating na. Proseso na lang ang tinitingnan. Pero yun na yun, eh. Nandiyan na yung ilaw, eh. Sa dulo ng kuweba, yung vaccine na yan. Excited na lahat
May Pfizer na nga. May Pfizer na nga next week, eh. Kung pwede lang ako pumunta ng Europe, magpapaturok na ako sa England.
Sa ibang bansa po, nagsimula na sila, eh. Actually, I think
Sa China.
sa Brazil, sa China, sa UAE, di ba? Nagkakaroon sila. Nagbubukas na sila. No, ang gagamitin naman sa atin, definitely, kung ano yung ginamit na sa kanila, buti nga, nauna na sila, eh. Nakita naman natin na safe na safe, eh, di ba?
You first. You first. you live, we follow. In any case, GM, bago tayo maubusan ng oras, saglitan ko lang. No? I just wanna touch quickly on the U-turn slots because apparently another one will be closed, but you are considering opening 2 U-turn slots. At least, yun na nasa dyaryo. Paki-confirm nga lang po, ano po ba sitwasyon?
Ganito po, Sir Cito, sabi ko nga, pag pinag-usapan na natin ng traffic at U-turn, kulang isang oras sa atin. No? Pero just to be quick.
Oo.
Nakita naman mo, first, ano ba naging effect sa closure ng U-turn? No? Nakita naman natin yung busway, Sir Cito. No? From Monumento to Ayala, 45 minutes ang travel time. Dati 3 hours yan, 3.5. That's number 1. Kasi kailangan bigyan talaga natin ng priority commuters. Mas madami yan. Ang laman ng bus, 30, 40, di ba? May pandemic ngayon, hindi pwedeng matagal sa loob yan. Kaya pinabibilis natin ang mga bus natin, di ba? Hindi mo kilala yung katabi mo. Unlike sa private, magkakilala kayo. That's number 1. Number 2, if you compare, no, the traffic today and last year, the same date, mas malala po last year before COVID. No? Ang takbo dati, 7 to 9 kilometers per hour na lang. Ngayon, umaabot tayo ng 25 to 30. Of course, during rush hour ngayon, ang dami yan because of volume, no? Pero unlike before, wala na rush hour. Buong araw yan, traffic sa EDSA. Pero ngayon, dumaka ng mga 1 p.m. or 11. Yeah. Tumatakbo yan, 30 kilometers per hour. So, ba't nila napapansin na traffic? Kasi nga, pagka ang takbo mo 10 or 15 kilometers per hour, dadaanan ka ng bus ng 50 kilometers per hour, feeling mo, traffic ka na. Kasi nga, bakante yung, bakante yung kalsada. Pero may datos tayo. Ngayon, sinara natin ang U-turn. No? Of course, madaming maapektuhan. More than 100,000 na nag-U-turn dyan sa congressional to Quezon Ave. Ang critical area kasi yung Balintawak to Quezon Boulevard, that's 5 to 6 kilometers. Yes, naintindihan namin, talagang ang layo ng iniikot. Kaya lang, nakita naman natin ang effects sa mga commuters. No? Second is, may plano tayong lagyan ng U-turn yan. Actually, kahapon, nagkaroon kami ng meeting with DOTR. ang plano natin yung elevated busway. Pero simple lang, no? Mga 3 months lang kaya gawin yan. Ang pinoproblema na lang namin, budget. Ito yung aakit yung bus,
Yeah.
no? Yung
Nasulat
ilalim,
ko. Oh,
yes, yung
nasulat ko nga
ilalim,
yan at napag-usapan namin ni Bong Nebria eh.
yes.
Yung rarampa pataas, magdidiskarga o magkakarga tapos bababa. And then yung sa ilalim, yun ang gagawin yung U-turn slot.
Yes, no? Actually, ang ano sa akin critical talaga dyan is yung North Avenue and Congressional. Diyan napakadami. Ngayon, may nagsasuggest nung una, baka pwedeng stop and go. Meaning, bukas yung U-turn, di hinto ang bus, mag-U-turn, no? Eh, sabi ko, sa dami ng volume na more than 100,000, sigurado 2 lanes ang gagamitin yan. So kung 2 lanes yan, dumaan ang bus, hihinto yan, ang goda naman, dadalang bus, hinto yan. Pag huminto yung 2 lanes sa EDSA at yung isang lane para sa bus, ang matitira yung 2 sa dulo.
Tsaka mabuti kung sumusunod.
Yes.
Eh,
And then,
daming mga kamote driver na kakamot ng ulo.
yes. And then, ang talagang critical pa dyan, yung dito po sa Balintawak, northbound. No? Yan ang haba ng traffic dyan. Why? Kasi yung bridge going to Monumento, 3 lanes lang yan. Yung isa, bus lane, yung nasa right side, papasok ng NLEX, isa na lang ang padiretso ng Monumento. That's why, binuksan natin yung service road, no, sa kanan.
Yeah.
Meaning, kung pupunta ka ng NLEX, doon ka na sa kanan, yung dating yellow lane, diyan ka na. Huwag ka na pumasok sa, makiimbudo doon sa bridge, no? Ang problema, hindi pa rin sanay ang tao. No?
Kung isaran nyo kaya yung dun sa may bridge para obligado sila
yes,
na
actually,
doon na
yan
lang sila sa service.
actually, yan ang plano. Pero siguro after 1 month, para masanay muna sa kanan.
Sige.
Kasi
Okay.
pag yan po, isinara natin at yung mga mapipilit na naman aakyat dyan, nakitang sarado, iikot na monumento yan, dadami na naman lalo ang sasakyan doon.
Pansamantala na lang, growing pains. Kasi katulad din yan sa Taguig, GM eh. 'Di ba? May service road naman. Sabi ko, bakit pinagpipilitan dito sa C5 Rumampa? Ang laki-laki ng service road, ginagawang paradahan ng kung sino-sino dong mga senyorito.
Ang sa amin nga, no, makikita naman natin talaga, no, ang ano kasi ng definition natin ng roads, no, Sir Cito, hindi yung move vehicles, you move more people. Yun talaga ang target natin eh. At tandaan natin, no,
Okay.
actually, yung may mananghingi pa na ibalik ang coding, mga ganyan, no.
Sige.
Sabi nga namin, babalik ang coding, nangihingi niyan, may extra sasakyan eh. Hindi pa normal ang ating public transportation. Pangalawa, in-expect ko na, pag nag-coding ka, kahon-kahon na exemption ang darating sa opisina namin at hihingi, dahil nga yung medical frontliners, lalabas na essential workers, nagtitinda sa mall, nagtitinda ng restaurant, security guard, essential lahat yan. Di ba? So,
ako nga, essential eh. Sa haba ng panahon na magkakilala tayo, ni minsan hindi mo ko nadinig humingi na exemption. Media tayo, pero hindi po ako nanghihingi na exemption. In any case, GM, pasensya ka na, naabala kita. Alam ko may meeting ka pa at
press call po, 9 a.m.
may press con ka. Ayoko lamunin yung press con. Baka mabato ko ng mga kapwa natin. So thank you very much. I will release you. Pwede ka na, hindi mo na kailangan kantahin yung please release me. Thank you very much for joining me again.
So, it is really my pleasure, no, for inviting me always here sa show mo. Maraming salamat, no, sa opportunity. And please, everyone, stay safe. No? We do this not para hindi kayo mahuli. No? We're doing this to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bago ka lumayo, I pray a blessing on your daughter. May God bless her with great health and may she be a joy to you for the rest of your life. Thank you and congratulations, GM.
Thank you po. God bless her, Sita. Thank you.
Okay, yan po, si GM Jojo Garcia, may baby girl siya. Kakaingit, sarap ng may baby. Lalo na ngayon, panahon ng Pasko, naka-quarantine, ang sarap. Akin, wala. Hindi na po baby. Bossing na. Doon, nasa abroad yung aking anak. Okay, diretso na tayo sa our next interview with the Toll Regulatory Board. Let's go to Mr. Ano na nga ba ito? Julius Corpuz. Sorry, medyo nalilito ko. Let's go to Julius Corpuz, spokesperson of the Toll Regulatory Board. Nandiyan na ba? Iyon.
Sir
Julius,
Cito,
good
good morning.
morning.
Good morning po, Sir Cito, and thank you po at kami pinaunlakan ninyo dito sa inyong programa.
Ako na nga abala sa inyo eh. Maraming salamat, Julius, and thank you for joining us this morning. Ano na ba ang situation po natin regarding this RFID? Kasi let me just set it up, Julius, no? Kasi ang dami kong complaints na natatanggap, maraming nagsasabi, Sito, grabe ang pila. Meron nga, nagpunta pa sa Olongapo. Doon na raw, dumiretso na sa Olongapo, doon na nagpa-stickering doon sa isang booth doon, etc. And you've heard Ramon Ang request for an extension. You've heard Senator Po request for an extension. Nancy Binay request. And not to mention the thousands of car owners. What is the position of the TRB?
Sir Cito, I hope you can give me a short
Go ahead.
opportunity po na to give you a briefer muna of how where we were before and where we are now. Then we will address the issue of this request for extension thereafter. Limitation na siya. 1.5 million prior to the August issuance of the department order requiring for cashless and contactless transaction. So that is around 1.5 million. We are happy to report by today, by December 1, as of December 1, ang total RFID installed na po sa lahat ng ating expressways ay umabot na po ng more or less 3.4 million or even double price of the department. Where are we now? Ang unaudited but more or less RFID ratio with cash is already around 85% for the San Miguel Group and around 80% for the Metro Pacific Tollway Group. So, dumarami na po at nababawasan na
Okay. Delay. I think we're having problems with the signal from Julius Corpuz of the Toll Regulatory Board. May internet problems po siya, but the good news is because of this policy, cashless policy, no contact policy of the Toll Regulatory Board and the OTR, ay dumami na ang nag-transfer doon sa may RFID or EC strip, etc. No? So, yun, establish yun. Maraming nagpakabit ng sticker. Now, the question is yung appeal ng mga kinaukulan na sana raw kung pwedeng pabayaan pa rin na magkaroon pa rin ng cash lane. Kasi ang nangyayari, pumapasok sa toll booth pero nagpa-pile up kasi ang daming nakapila sa gilid. Okay, let's, wala, ayan, nawala po uli si Julius. Ewan ko, kasi alam nyo, yun na sinasabi ko. And actually, I was speaking with my therapist yesterday regarding this internet system ba. Naka-PLDT sila, pero sharing pala sila ng isang opisina o isang business. Sabi ko, hello, this is now our new reality. All of us need to invest on fiber internet. We need to invest yung 100 Mbps. Sasabihin ninyo, Kuyang, mahal. Alam niyo po, hindi na kayo nagda-drive papunta sa opisina. Hindi na kayo nagbibihis. Wala na kayong mga makeup sa bahay lang. Okay, let's try Julius Corpuz again. Julius?
Yes, sorry po, Sir Cito.
It's understandable, Julius. Medyo ano nga,
Konti.
nagbibigay lang ako ng mga tip na kailangan tayo ngayon naka-internet, fiber internet at 100 Mbps.
Nabanggit
Ayan, okay. Quickly, Julius.
wala mo rin for kaya nga dyan ang pamunuan ng DOTR.
Okay, maybe Gaba, you can just request Julius to give you a one-page summary na pwede kong basahin kasi mayayamot naman sa akin yung viewers na para silang nag-aabang na napaka-importanting mga anunsyo or information but it's not coming in properly. In any case, we will go for a quick break and when we return, let's go on with our show. And pag-usapan po natin tong topic na ito kasi marami po talagang medyo napipikon. It's not that they challenge the policy. Let me be clear. The intention of the DOTR, the policy of the DOTR, I think no one challenges it. Wala naman ako nadinig na sabi, hindi, mali yan, o hindi tama yan, or hindi No. It's a good policy. I have supported it. I have called out for that years ago nung dati na kami matagal na po. Meron na kami nitong RFID na ito. And sinasabi ko na malaking bagay, malaking savings sa motorista at saka bawas sa traffic. Pero ang problema nga po ay biglaan ang bugso at ang nangyayari maraming tao na peperwisyo sila kasi limited yung pupuntahan. Ngayon, nadinig ko si Asek Gadis Libiran, nagsabi siya sa isang press conference na dapat siguro gawin ng mga kinaukulan ng San Miguel and ng Metro Pacific Group na damihan yung lugar ng stickering. In fairness po, ginagawa na yun ng mga kinaukulan ng Metro Pacific, tollways, ng SLEX. Pero alam nyo ko, konti lang din naman yung taon nila. And then there are security concerns with the RFID. So, ang problema, hindi mo naman, gawin mo sa mall, murahin ka ng mall. Gawin mo sa ibang lugar. May mga angal din kasi it creates traffic volume. So, ang compromise, extend pa, damihan. Kumbaga I think Secretary Artugade should say, okay, ganito i-extend ko ng isang buwan. Diba? Ganun si Sec Art. I-extend ko ng isang buwan. Pero, siguraduhin nyo sa isang buwan na yan, mami-meet nyo lahat in so many places, etc., etc. Then, after that, wala nang sisihan, di ba? But right now, Sec Art, talagang nako po, marami kayong makakaaway. Kung hindi man kayo makaaway, baka makulam kayo. Kasi talagang, ito mga ordinaryong tao po, nag-i-email, nagsasabi, nami-meet ko, Cito, banatan mo naman. Hindi ko po ugali mambanat. Ang ugali ko po is to bring the information here. And the Toll Regulatory Board, they're doing their job, but sometimes mahirap yung baka mabulunan. Ganyan na po ang nangyayari. Nabubulunan na yung ating mga toll providers, yung SLEX, yung Metro Pacific, nabubulunan na po at naasar na ang tao. In any case, we'll go for a break and when we return, let's continue with the program. Okay, we're back here on agenda, and they say where there's a way, where there's a will, there is a way. Kami naman sa agenda, where there is a way, there is a pilit. Pilitin natin makuha si Ginoong Corpuz kasi kailangan natin malaman kay Julius, even by landline, we need to know exactly what their response is to the public clamor to extend or yung deadline ba, extend or resolve the difficulties being encountered by motorists regarding stickering. Kasi whether we like it or not, evidently the companies, kasi ang nangyayari po, and I'm sorry, no, I'm friends to all, pero ang nangyayari po, napipilitan magsabi yung mga kumpanya, okay lang, kaya namin, ginagawa namin. But the reality on the ground is, they can't. You know, because this is not normal na bahain ka ng sobrang daming sasakyan. And sabihin na lang natin that they can sticker. They can continue to sticker. But as we approach the deadline, or we are in the deadline, actually, sabi nila, December 1, dapat cashless na. Pero meron nga may cash transactions pa rin. So, what's happening is, parang ayaw nilang magalit yung government, ayaw nilang mapahiya, etc. So parang everybody is pretending. Let's go back to Julius Corpuz. He's on the line. Julius, I hope you're back.
Dito, sorry po at nagkaroon ng problema ng connection, but I'm here to try to this program para sa
Okay. Julius, quickly na lang, no, because of this connection problem, what can the TRB, DOTR do about this clamor of either pushing back the deadline, extending, or to resolve yung hinaing ng mga may mga sasakyan Kasi ginagawa na nung dalawang companies yung magagawa nila, pero hindi mo naman makokontrol kung bumabaha ng sasakyan para magpakabit.
Sir Tito, tama po kayo. And we admit that during the first day of December 1, nagkaroon tayo ng mahabang pagkita at problema sa mga expressway. Bunsod na rin po ng sari-sari dahilan, implementasyon ng cashless transaction, long weekend, at the same time, first working day of the week, which we usually naman po talagang marami during the week. We are, the OTR, strictly monitoring the situation po at the time since we implemented it yesterday and today. At siguro po naman mapapansin nyo, bagamat nagkaroon tayo ng problema first day, kahapon po nag-improve naman na po ang situation, and the initial report and monitoring po namin this morning, the situation looks far better than yesterday. We continue po to assess the situation, Sir Tito, at itisan po natin, ina-analyze natin kung ano-ano ang mga dahilan o mga problema pa rin nararanasan ng isang motorista natin dito sa ating mga expressway. And,
Okay. Julius, ganito na lang, because even the audio is not very clear. I hope, is there any pressing reason, napakahalagang dahilan that we must insist on this deadline, life and death situation or whatever, na hindi pwedeng hilutin yung situation?
Sir Tito, actually nagkaroon na po tayo technically in a very similar way, parang dahil in fact, parang extension na rin po init po siguro sa kahandaman ng ating mga model na pagkasunduan po namin with the DOTR, DRT, at ang lahat ng co-operators na magkakaroon tayong tinatawag na transition from December 1 to January 12 at para rin sa mga ating mga motoristang wala pang RFI, sila po itinigyan natin pagkakataon ng pagkaroon ng RFI.
Okay. Julius, I'm so sorry, Julius, but we can't understand a word Julius is saying, so we're gonna have to cut the interview. Hopefully, baka tomorrow or later in the program, may oras pa naman. We still have a little under 30 minutes, or 25 minutes. But here's the situation. The TRB, from what I picked up from Julius Corpuz, is continuing to monitor the situation. And according to them, medyo nagkaroon na ng improvement. And that's all good but here's the problem. Everyone is saying everything is okay. But when you go out there and when you speak to the parties concerned privately, everybody is saying this is chaotic, this is difficult, this is time-consuming, and this is inconvenient. Well, hindi nga inconvenient eh. It is a burden. And the thing is, some people have requested that we push it back to February. Ang kontra ng DOTR, hindi pushback ang solusyon, hindi postponement ang solusyon. Ang solusyon ay mag-stickering kayo sa mas marami pang lugar. And whatever the situation is, here's the question. Ano po ba meron na kailangang ipagpilit natin ang isang polisiya na nakikita natin ay bagamat tama ay hindi maipatupad ng maigi dahil hindi kinakaya, dahil hindi nga natin nakokontrol lahat ng bagay. Okay? In English, what is so pressing? What is so important? What is so urgent that the DOTR Secretary Artugade has to insist that his will be done? I'm sorry. This is already so frustrating. If the people running the tollways and doing the stickering are appealing for a pushback, an extension, para lang hindi magka-windang-windang yung mga SLEX natin o NLEX, hindi ba pwedeng makinig ang gobyerno in this particular time? I have always said on the program that I support DOTR. I have always said in the program that the government and the administration of President Duterte is a responsive government. Pero in this case, parang pinagpipilitan natin and pinahihirapan natin yung mga motorista. Di bali yung inconvenience to motorista. It's part of ownership and the right to mobility. But you know, it must be within some sensible way. Kasi ang nangyayari, pati yung may mga sticker na aberya na, pati yung may mga RFID na peperwisyo na kasi nagkakakumpul-kumpulan na doon sa mga toll booths at sa mga stickering areas. I'm sorry, I don't want to express anger or annoyance, but no one has answered that question. What is so important? What is so pressing that we insist on enforcing a policy to the inconvenience, detriment, and difficulty on the public? Yun lang po. We will go for a break. I think we will go for a break at this juncture, or ano ba, Mr. Executive Producer, mabuti pang mag-break muna tayo kasi medyo kailangan magpalamig. Nadadala ako dito kasi alam niyo po, Secretary Tugade, ako rin nakakatanggap eh. Meron pa nga nagsumbong sa akin eh, sa isang toll booth daw eh. Pagdaan niya, hindi tumaas yung bar eh. Sabi, bayad na lang po kayo ng cash kasi wala ho yung reader eh. Yung ganun ba? Meron naman mga nagsasabi, yung tao ko, pumunta pa ng Olongapo. Pumunta ng Olongapo kasi dito walang mangyari, sabi niya, kailangan mapasticker yung kotse. Pumunta ng Olongapo, madaling araw. Pagpila niya doon, akala niya mauna siya, pangwalo na siya. Olongapo. Okay, anyway, sige, we'll go for a break. Okay, you're back here on agenda, and unfortunately, we will not be getting Julius Corpuz of the Toll Regulatory Board back because of internet connectivity. And yun po, no, lagi kong paalala sa inyo, during this new normal, actually, this is not part-time. Many of you think this is temporary, this is just, for now, pag meron na tayong vaccine, magbabalikan na tayo sa opisina. Alam niyo po, maraming tao ayaw nang bumalik sa opisina. Maraming tao, many people have discovered that it is far more economical, it is more convenient, and it is more productive for people to work from home. Of course, it doesn't apply to everybody, but it works. And many of you also, particularly the consumers, have also discovered the convenience and the practicality of online transactions or online shopping. Ako po, kahit na ako, medyo Jurassic ako, medyo, I'm not a techie person, but I've managed to see things online and buy things online via the misis because mas may confidence siya buying. Ako, I have no confidence doing these transactions. But I have made purchases online. Now, of course, as part of my job, I'm doing my job here from my home. This is my living room, and we are doing it via internet. I've always promoted PLDT, not because they're a sister company. Alam niyo po, good is good, bad is bad. But with PLDT fiber internet, I can't complain. And the funny part here is this. When you have PLDT fiber internet, like I have 100 Mbps, naproprogram eh. You can actually program it so that you have priority. So the other day, my wife was, she had just gotten out of bed. She was going to check on a transaction for my daughter, and she was going to go to a agency website sa Holland, sa Netherlands. And she couldn't. And it turns out because our system is such, I have priority. When I do the broadcast or when I'm on Zoom meeting, I have priority. So the Mbps or the speed is given to me and marginal sa kanila. So may mga advantages po, no? And I was telling you earlier, yung aming therapist was telling me na hindi niya nabasa yung pinadala kong data kasi yung kanilang internet was being shared. Under this new system, we now have to understand something. Online, internet, speed, etc., you're going to have to invest on it. The same way some people have discovered. For the longest time, when we all went under lockdown, many people were relying on their computer camera. And they were relying on, just being in a room, whatever was practical. But people have started to discover and realize that you need to invest on your equipment. So like with government officials, I used to teach communications, media training sa DAP with the public management program, public management development program. And I've always said, you need to invest on your communications people, on your PR people or the media relations people. And in this new normal, all government agencies should have a dedicated fiber internet system, 100 Mbps or whatever the fastest is, sa kanilang mga communications, corporate communications group, particularly for guys like Julius. Kasi imagine how bad it looks if you're trying to communicate the policy of your government and you can't because the internet keeps dropping. You go to the phone and the phone isn't doing the job because the location in the building is not ideal for communicating online or via mobile. So, tandaan lang niyo po yun, no? Kasi malaking bagay yun when you are trying to communicate government policies or you are trying to promote your business, etc. And mind you, dun sa mga nanonood po na hindi pa migrate to online. Although I don't have a business, I interview so many business people on a regular basis. I talk to so many people, and most of them will tell you, majority, if not all of them, will tell you, those who failed to migrate online, whether for a small business or a big business, are now suffering the consequences. Kasi yung iba, out of their ignorance, they have to play catch up, and they're so ignorant, they don't know. And even if they manage to play catch up, it will come at a very big price. When we started, my camera, when I bought this camera, it's a simple webcam camera, but it was, I think, 6,000 something. It's now 8,000 and you can't get it. When we started under COVID-19, ang dali-dali ng computer. Ngayon, nako po, hindi ka makabili ng laptop na matino, mahirap, pre-orders, blah, blah, blah. It's complicated. So not only has the technology forced us to migrate, the technology and the hardware itself is now more expensive and so hard to get hold on. Okay, so yan lang po ang take ko dyan tungkol dyan sa nangyari natin na problema with communications with TRB. Not their fault, you know, I mean, ano yun you get what you pay for, and unfortunately, maski na si Secretary Galvez nga nagsasabi, napakahirap. Pag nasa gobyerno ka, napaka-komplikado. Ngayon, ito, natututunan natin. In any case, I just want to mention something, no? Hats off to Mayor Benji Magalong kasi dito po sa Metro section or nation ng Philippine Star, there's a story where wait a minute, what's going on? Okay, delayed yung notice sa akin ni Gab. Anyway, Baguio Night Market closed over distancing violations. Iba po talaga si Benji Magalong. Si Mayor Benji Magalong ng Baguio. Kasi, you know, the night market is a popular destination, not just for tourists, kasi konti lang naman ng tourists nila, pero business yan, kabuhayan yan sa mga ilang tao sa Baguio. Ano ang nangyayari? Ang nangyayari, sabi na, hindi kayo sumusunod na social distancing, di isara ko. Diba? On the other hand, doon po sa Maynila, sorry, Isko, friends naman tayo, Mayor Isko. Pero please naman, doon po sa Divisoria, Ilaya, dikit-dikit, naglagay na sila, to his credit, naglagay na po sila ng mga pulis, ng mga marshals, doon sa Divisoria, para yung mga tao binubullhorn, nire-remind, magsuot kayo ng face mask, mag-social distancing po tayo, wag po tayo magkumpul-kumpul, etc. So, ginagawa. Pero, ang nangyari, nagbukas pa po ng second site. Meron na sa Divisoria, nagtayo pa sa Mehan Garden. Parang, I understand people need to earn a living, people need to have income, etc., place to buy. Pero alam niyo po, Mayor Isko Moreno, medyo paglayuin nyo. Yung ginawa kasi ng mga bata mo dyan sa Divisoria, pinagdikit-dikit yung mga stall, nilagay pa yung seal of the City of Manila, parang sinasabi sa buong mundo, eto, okay lang magdikit-dikit. Mali po, no? Anyway, we have with us our third and last guest. Quickly na lang, pag-usapan lang natin itong Simbang Gabi. Pero wala sa loob ng simbahan. We have with us Father Jerome Secillano, Executive Secretary, CBCP. Father Jerome, good morning to you.
Good morning, Cito. Good morning sa lahat ng mga viewers.
Okay, nasa balita kasi, it's in the papers that in many or in various locations, Simbang Gabi does not have to be inside churches due to the problems of limited numbers allowed, blah, blah, blah. Ano ba ang napag-usapan ng CBCP, Father Jerome?
Well, wala naman pong pag-uusap diyan ng CBCP, ano. The ones that was going the rounds of the public, galing po yan sa Archdiocese of Manila. Yan po naman ay ginawang option kasi very limited lang yung bilang ng tao na pwedeng pumasok ng simbahan. According to the IATF resolution, there's only 30% of the church's capacity that's going to be allowed inside. So, isang option ang tinitingnan dito na baka naman mas malalaking lugar katulad ng gymnasium o public gymnasium o di kaya kung ano pa mang public place ang pwedeng pagdausan ng Simbang Gabi.
Oh, like a football field. 'Di ba? Ginagawa naman natin 'yun. I remember pag may mga papal visits, 'di ba? Merong mga outdoor services, etc. Or even in Rome, the Pope speaks from his balcony ba 'yon, but he speaks to the people in the plaza.
Tama po, ano. Ginagawa naman din po talaga 'yon. At ito naman ay isang innovation lang na sinuggest ng Apostolic Administrator ng Archdiocese of Manila kasi dito sa NCR lalong-lalo na sa Manila ay talagang marami-rami yung talagang uma-attend nito. Kung halimbawa talaga pinaiigting yung curfew, syempre talagang istriktuhan natin yung 30% lang na pwedeng pumasok ng simbahan. So, baka kinakailangan nga talaga ng mas malaking venue at yung open venue. Ang nakikita natin dito, even before the onslaught of this COVID-19, ang UST dati na nilang ginagawa ang kanilang Simbang Gabi sa football field. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na naman ito bago. This is a very practical suggestion and practical solution also to the problem of congestion sa loob ng simbahan. Kaya medyo malaki-laking venue.
Well, good news. I mean, that's news to me, Father Jerome, kasi minsan hindi ako nakaabot dyan sa UST. Hindi ko alam na meron palang Simbang Gabi ito sa football field. Ngayon, kumbaga, nakapractice na sila. Kayang-kaya na nilang gawin yon. What else are there any pronouncements from the CBCP or anything related to the Christmas celebration? Kasi alam mo, right now, lahat tayo naman siguro pilit natin binubuhay ang Pasko. Kami dito sa TV5 sinasabi nga kinakampanya tuloy ang Pasko, etc. Ano po bang what's the word with the CBCP?
Well, ganun pa rin naman po ang aming ang aming mga gagawin na paghahanda, katulad po ng mga Simbang Gabi na 'yan. And then of course, we continue to remind people to be very patient and at the same time to adhere to government protocols, and we continue to remind people to pray, and this is the time to be spiritually involved. And then of course, we try to remind people to have this so-called attitude of making sacrifices kasi realidad na po ito na talagang medyo mahirap yung buhay, talagang sinusubukan din tayo. Kaya it's all about changing mindsets and of course strengthening our attitude, trying to be courageous in times like this. So yun ang laging reminder namin. Usual pa naman ang mga gawain sa bahay.
Okay, yung issue ng hindi I don't know how it affects or issue na ba yun dito sa Pilipinas, but in other countries and other reports I've read, yung bang pagsimba yung pagkanta sa simbahan, there have been some suggestions that there should be no singing in churches because it is considered risky in terms of COVID transmission. Eh sabi ko nga, paano na kaya magiging mga simba ngayon? Puro meron na lang pre-recorded songs na lang pagdating doon sa yung ama namin o yun doon sa mga Christmas carols during this Christmas holiday?
Well, even before, we have been limiting the singing in churches because according to experts, isa yan sa mga dahilan kung papaano lumalaganap itong virus. At nangyari yan sa Korea, nangyayari yan sa ibang bansa. And so therefore, in all our masses, we try to limit kung ano lang yung mga parts na pwede nilang kantahin. And then also, we try to limit the number of choir members who can participate in the singing. So ito ay mga practical din na mga pamamaraan namin para, number one, we can adhere to what the experts tell us. And at the same time, we can also limit, as the second thing, we can limit the transmission of the virus, again, according to the experts. Kaya, okay naman na sa mga misa nire-recite natin yung ilang parts, wala naman din problema yan. Ang mahalaga lang dito is, ando doon pa rin yung complete participation ng mga tao, at syempre, ando doon din yung devotion talaga natin doon sa liturgy o doon sa mass.
Okay, well, Father Jerome, ewan ko, it would not surprise me pag isang araw biglang may anunsyo na magkakaroon na tayo ng drive-in masses, lalo na sa araw ng Pasko. Pero we will carry on, we will keep the faith, we will overcome, we will believe. Thank you very much for your time today, Father Jerome.
Alam mo, sa Estados Unidos, kapag sila ay nagmamas doon because of the seriousness of the situation, yung iba sa parking lot, at hindi na sila lumalabas ng kanilang kotse.
Okay.
Nagbubukas na lang sila ng kanilang pintuan o di kaya ng kanilang window para marinig nila yung kumbaga yung sounds. So, alam mo, these are creative ways in doing things. Hindi kasi natin pwedeng gawin na lang yung mga traditional na ginagawa natin, especially if we are hindered from doing them. So, kami, mga tao sa simbahan, kinakailangan din namin mag-innovate. Pero yung mga innovation na to, hindi pwede na maaaring makadeviate doon talaga sa essence ng liturgy. What do I mean by that? Hindi kami pwede magbawas, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi namin pwedeng kami ma-desecrate yan dahil yung innovation namin ay talagang it's not anymore in tune with what the liturgy is all about. It is the action of Christ, and then people should participate in it. So, there are principles that we need to follow. But then, itong mga nakikita natin, ng mga possibilities and actual na nangyayari, well, ito naman ay mga pamamaraan lang din, para makontinue natin yung celebration.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Father Jerome, and we will continue to monitor the situation. And Merry Christmas sa'yo, Father.
Merry Christmas to Cito.
Okay, yan po si Father Jerome Secillano, Executive Secretary, CBCP Public Affairs Committee. And with that, we bring the program to a close. I wish you all Merry Christmas. I will try to keep saying it through the coming days. Alam niyo po, hindi ako, pinaparatangan nga ako The Grinch kasi hindi ako masyadong maano sa Pasko. But this year, I'm making an exception because this year, kailangan tuloy ang Pasko. Maligayang Pasko sa inyo. Yan po ang agenda. Have a great day.
Drinap ko na yung big news na yun on our group chat. Sabi ko, kaysa naman magkagulatan pa tayo.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay.
So sabi ko, let's talk just us.
sige.
Diba, para personal. Okay, fine.
Oo, sige. For
Tatanong
now,
sa
Eric. Sige. For now, Eric.
Umere muna tayo.
Oo, sige sis, mag-countdown ka na. Bye guys. Countdown.
Bye.
All right. Dan, one follow-up, by the way.
Copy.